Reactionaries are paper tigers. Have you heard this phrase before? Assalamu alaikum, comrades. Today we're going to be talking about the famous paper tiger interview that Louise Strong had with Mao. I just got my hands on this first edition print of their conversation, and I'm excited to share it with you. I know, shocker, this isn't about the Soviet Union, but it is about Louise Strong, whose life is completely intertwined with the Soviets. But I figured many of you would find this interesting as well. So, in August of 1946, Louise would sit down with Mao and have a very important discussion and interview, one that would be massively published to the Western world and translated in many different languages. Now, Louise and her relationship with Mao was very special. They were great, genuine friends, and she ultimately decided to live the last of her days in Beijing with his blessing, all accommodations provided for her. And in China, she would be known as the Paper Tiger Lady for this very interview.
毛泽东主席有一个著名的论断：帝国主义和一切反动派都是纸老虎。这一著名论断武装了中国人民的思想，加强了中国人民的胜利信心，在人民解放战争中起了极其伟大的作用。其广泛传播离不开斯特朗的努力，纸老虎女士的绰号也由此而来。1925年、1927年和1937年，他曾3次访华，并根据亲身所见所闻写下了《千千万万的中国人》《人类的1/5》等作品，向全世界披露国民党反动派对革命的叛变和对工农运动的镇压，热情赞扬工农运动犹如星星之火，将来势必燎燃成革命的大火。斯特朗于1946年6月第5次访华，访问期间，毛泽东在延安杨家岭的一个石桌前会见了他。他们谈到内战形势，也提及了当时支持蒋介石一方的美国。斯特朗突然提出一个难以解答的问题。
But suppose the United States uses the atom bomb. Suppose the United States bombs the Soviet Union from its bases in Iceland, Okinawa, and China. Mao's response would become infamous. I'm going to read you Mao's complete response, which I hope you listen to and think about. The atom bomb is a paper tiger which the US reactionaries use to scare people. It looks terrible, but in fact it isn't. Of course, the atom bomb is a weapon of mass slaughter, but the outcome of war is decided by the people, not by one or two new types of weapon. All reactionaries are paper tigers. In appearance, the reactionaries are terrifying, but in reality, they are not so powerful. From a long-term point of view, it is not the reactionaries, but the people who are really powerful. In Russia, before the February Revolution in 1917, which side was really strong? On the surface, the Tsar was strong, but he was swept away by a single gust of wind in the February Revolution. In the final analysis, the strength in Russia was on the side of the Soviet of workers, peasants, and soldiers. The Tsar was just a paper tiger. Wasn't Hitler once considered very strong? But history proved that he was a paper tiger. So was Mussolini. So was Japanese imperialism. On the contrary, the strength of the Soviet Union and of the people in all countries who loved democracy and freedom proved much greater than had been foreseen. Chiang Kai-shek and his supporters, the US reactionaries, are all paper tigers too. Speaking of US imperialism, people seem to feel that it is terrifically strong. Chinese reactionaries are using the strength of the United States to frighten the Chinese people. But it will be proved that the US reactionaries, like all the reactionaries in history, do not have much strength. In the United States, there are others who are really strong, the American people. Take the case of China. We have only Millet plus rifles to rely on, but history will finally prove that our Millet plus rifles is more powerful than Chiang Kai-shek's airplanes plus tanks. although the Chinese people still face many difficulties and will long suffer hardships from the joint attacks of US imperialism and the Chinese reactionaries, the day will come when these reactionaries are defeated and we are victorious. The reason is simply this: the reactionaries represent reaction. We represent progress. And what a response that is. The other questions and answers in this pamphlet are just as wonderful to read or listen to, and I highly recommend reading Anna Louise's talk with Mao, which has been, as I mentioned, widely published. This conversation was so important in history that there's even a painting of Anna Louise and Mao talking together in this very moment. But even today, aren't we constantly talking about reactionaries? Not just in world politics, but on the internet, in our own personal spaces, even between people who make content like myself. So let us not forget that they are, just as Mao put it, paper tigers. They look strong, they might present as strong, or maybe not, maybe they're the only ones who think that. But in reality, they are weak, and it is the masses, the people, who are strong. And won't the truth be revealed, ultimately, at some point? As a Muslim, I think if not in this life, then in the hereafter. But if you don't believe in an afterlife, that's okay. Inshallah, God willing to you, that the reality of reactionaries will be shown in our lifetime. Please be inspired by history, comrades, and have a good day. I appreciate you.
他在我经历过的3种社会一文中写道：当我离开延安的时候，我知道中国共产党领导下的中国将是我度过余生的地方。1958年，73岁高龄的斯特朗第6次访华，这一次他选择留在中国，安度余生。1970年3月，这位热爱中国的美国女作家病逝于被她称作理想归宿地的中国。